So, we're back, and it is currently 2 o'clock in the morning. I have to work in the morning, so that's always great. Anyways, I did end up watching Star Wars on the 14th, so that was a day early. What I can say is this entire thing tonight is going to be spoiler-free, considering I watched it a day early and not a whole lot of people got to watch it early. So there's that, and also I watched the movie Coco. Now, this entire movie is also going to be spoiler-free, but there is one thing I will say about that movie Coco, is it doesn't make any sense until you watch, I believe it's the first 10 minutes into it. Then you'll go, oh, that's why it's named. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to let this roll while I get rid of my work list. And yes, that's a piece of cardboard I'm holding. So, anyways, now that we're back, starting off with Coco. Now, this is another classic Disney film. Now, the reason why I'm saying classic is it has somewhat of an original idea that has not been done this way before. Now, the interesting part about this film is the time frame that they chose. Now, the time frame that they chose actually pertains, I want to say, within a couple of days, so that's not exactly a spoiler, but it is one of the films that takes pretty much takes place all in the same day. So as far as that goes, that is the main focal point of it, and it actually makes sense to the way the film was made. They actually spent a lot of time on coloration in spots that you can barely see. Now, it takes a lot of effort to animate a film. Now, this entire scenario, they were trying to make it big, bold, and beautiful. Now, my main issue is I was an idiot at the very start. I didn't realize it needed 3D glasses. So, oops. But overall, this is a great film to take the kids to. It has parts that tug on the heartstrings, parts that are more or less thought-provoking, and then there's other parts that make you question what you just watched. Overall, I'm going to give the movie an 8.9. Now, the main reason being, spoiler alert, skip the next 20 seconds when I start talking about Star Wars. So, the spoiler part is, now click off 20 seconds ahead, is the fact of there was a minor animation error that had taken place where a character had 3 fingers and then gained 4 fingers. That's the only nitpick that I had. It's not the main reason why I'm saying, oh, well, I'm docking at 1.1. No, there's other reasons for that, and if you watch the film, you can pretty much see why. Soundtrack's great. The casting had certain characters that could have been portrayed and voiced by different people that would have made it better, but overall, it's a great family film. And now, jumping into Star Wars, spoiler-free. Now, the entire concept of Star Wars The Last Jedi was right in the name. Now, as soon as you get past that part, that's technically a spoiler in itself, the title of it. But, if you watch the film, it's really not. So, you decide for that one after you watch it. But, anyways, the soundtrack has all of the greats that they had redone since the original films, such as the soundtrack. Now, there was certain characters that they added in that made sense to the storyline. There was parts that were funny. There was parts that were heartbreaking. There was parts where you'd laugh, you'd cry. It had all of this stuff going on. But overall, it does catch the Star Wars feel. Now, the feel that it's catching is nothing like the original trilogy. Now, the original trilogy that I'm talking about is 4, 5, and 6. It's got nothing on those movies. But I would say it is a close front runner. Now, a lot of people will disagree about this. But, in my opinion, it's a close front runner, next in line to those three, to The Phantom Menace. Now, the reason why I'm saying that, not to get anybody offended or pissed off, but the main reason being why I liked Phantom Menace so much was A, pod racing. And it also sparked one of the best N64 games I ever played, which was Star Wars pod racing. The other part was Darth Maul. Darth Maul was the best villain, in my opinion, that they had introduced. Now, here's the other catch to watching Star Wars. There is a couple of spots that will seem out of order. When you're first watching the film the first time, there's a lot of things that aren't going to make sense as towards the canon aspect. But when you watch it the second time, you're like, oh, okay, that's why they went and did it in this order. So, it's pretty... that's a spoiler, I can't say it. But anyways, I'm going to compare it to one of the most skip trace films that Star Wars has done thus far, being Episode 3. So, anyways, other than that, soundtrack's great, acting is phenomenal. Of course it would be, considering it's Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill. And Chewbacca. So, yeah. I'm now suddenly thinking about the Jawa that I seen in the parking lot that was at the front of the line. You know you're Canadian when you're waiting for a movie to come out and they're passing Timbits along the lineup. I think that just made my night right there. Just waiting in line and then all of a sudden there's a train of Timbits just going all the way to the back of the line. That was the funniest part that I seen. And then there was the Jawa. There was Old Ben walking through the movie theater. There was Han Solo. There was Luke Skywalker. There was even a guy in a blow-up BB-8 that was in the theater at one point. And there was also my favorite, which somebody actually dressed up as a Mandalorian to go and watch the Star Wars film. Now, if you're expecting Mandalorians to be in the film, I will spoil this part for you and just say, no, there is no Mandalorians at all in the film. Now, that's not really a spoiler, to be completely honest, because I'm telling you what's not there. But, anyway, some people might consider that a spoiler, so I'll just say it like it is. But, anyways, what will I give Star Wars? A 9.4. The reason being for that is, once again, when you're reviewing movies, of course, you have to nitpick, because there's always going to be one or two things that are out of sequence, or audio cues that are missed, or other aspects such as that one Avengers scene where Cap got his shield and his clothing back after being battle-worn, and then looked like absolutely nothing happened shortly after. That's another prime example. Or, Troy, when they went and filmed their camera crew going out to sea. Gotta love those times. But anyways, I watched it a day early. This is filmed on the 15th, technically, because the movie started at 10:45 that I was able to get tickets to. And the movie's runtime is 2 hours and 40 minutes. I would say give or take about 5-10 minutes on top of that. So, essentially, it's a long movie. By the time I got out of the theater from that 10:45, it was 1:30 in the morning. So, that tells you how long it is. But anyways, I hope you guys are having a fantastic 27... Actually, scratch that, because this is the end of 2017. This is the end of the 2017 era. Thank God. But anyways, I hope you're having a fantastic last couple of weeks of your 2017. And if you're not, I hope the last couple of weeks at least get somewhat better for you. Peace out, and I will see you all in the next video. Yes!